Ain't funny though, so everything's good. Hold on.
On the episodes, I don't know. I might beat you.
Hey, whoa. Hey. I don't know about that, bro.
Pointing from our screen.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
you're pointing wrong, but
He just wanted to show off his muscles, head ass.
I did just go to the gym.
yo, do the thing. Let's go.
Do the clap.
Let's make it clap.
Wait.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the HBCU podcast with your host, Hasim the Dream. You already know what it is, and my co-host.
Good rise, good people. Bobby K here. We're already off to a good start.
Yes,
You
sir.
see, the third person that's with us. We don't even need to introduce him at this point. Wale, what's going on? Say what's up to the people.
Happy holidays, mother. I'm about to curse. Let's get started.
Yeah, that's not man. Happy holidays.
Wait till the first 30
did.
seconds, then you could curse. There you go.
You're right. Happy
Yeah,
holidays,
you gotta
everyone.
make the
Good to
people
be
warm
back.
up.
There you go.
Good to be back.
Uh,
Good stuff.
Appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a good time. We're gonna get into the HBCU fun fact of the day, which Bobby has. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so I have a general one. We've done so many of them. It's sometimes hard to research the best ones, but so most HBCUs were like established after the American Civil War, and they were established with the assistance of like northern religious missionary organizations. So the South was very heavy on continuing like slavery and Jim Crow laws and stuff. So, HBCUs wasn't, obviously as popularized there up until the North, started to like establish them and make them a thing, to try to, for educational purposes. And so shout out to the North. He got glasses on. Don't know how to act.
I like the energy we have today, off rip. Bobby, can you give us the topic for today?
Sir, you are the co-host. You need to remember the topic. The topic for today, for everyone watching, first of all, if you're watching on YouTube, please like it, comment, and subscribe. We are trying to get to 100 subscribers. Please assist us in doing so. It makes the show better. It allows us to get more special guests, all those good things. Also, if you're listening to us on Spotify or any of the listening platforms, leave a rating and subscribe to us. But the topic of today is the worst of social media, trolling, and cancel culture. I myself as we're recording this, is on a social media break. So I'm not privy to these two very toxic things. Toxic is a very popular word for us on this podcast, if you know us. Hashim loves that word, right?
That gaslighting, I love it. Yep.
It's our favorite words in our vocabulary. But we can get into trolling first. Hashim, if you want to just, give a briefing of what you consider trolling.
I love me some trolling. So
God.
I feel like it's hard to explain trolling, but it's something
you do it.
Taken, yeah, but like it's something you shouldn't be taken too seriously. Like I feel like deep down, the person is trolling or making fun of a situation and not being serious about it or being sarcastic, but you still can get hurt by it. Like feel offended.
But that's not. But see, the thing with trolling though is like it's not always apparent. Sometimes it can be, like you said, like subtle, because everyone doesn't read sarcasm or satire well. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So it's not always obvious, and it can be hurtful in some situations because with anything with the internet, things go too far. You know what I'm saying? Like lighthearted trolling exists. Like you do lighthearted trolling all the time.
Yeah, but even like serious trolling, like dark serious trolling, can still get me weak. Like it just depends on the situation, man. Like you've seen like people make fun of somebody on Twitter, and then they be like they have word of advice. If you have RIP to somebody in your bio on Twitter, do not make fun of somebody on Twitter.
Facts.
because that is the first thing they're.
Or if you have them as your header, if you have somebody with like an angel wing or something as your header on Twitter, you don't clap at someone unless you're prepared for them to go below the belt. And they're going to go below the belt, below the knees, all that shit. Oh my God. To a certain degree, I do like Instagram more as an app, so to speak, than Twitter, even though I use Twitter more, because like on Twitter, I can like scroll up and see the timeline of different things, a lot of trolling, and, you know, not ever post anything the whole time I'm scrolling. You know what I mean? Where Instagram, like, it might be more like engagement, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of the things that are happening on different platforms on Instagram as well. But trolling can happen on Instagram.
Yes, of course.
I-
Matter of fact, real quick.
Go ahead.
So what I've seen, or I actually did a quick Google search. Trolling is when someone's intentionally trying to be offensive to bait people. Like you're saying ignorant things, just you want to get a reaction at someone. The problem with that, two things I have a problem with that word trolling is one, this has been a YouTube thing since 2008, some shit.
And still is.
With the trolling phase.
Yes,
You know,
and it's like to hear people in like older than us or in the news in real time mainstream, they say that celebrities. I'm just like, it just feels wrong. Like, why are we using that such a internet? It's a genuine internet term, and it's just cringy off jump. But that's one. Two, you could. The problem with trolling is you could actually have an actual opinion on something like criticism. Like for example, Bobby, you know I'm criticizing MCU movies, right? People think I'm trolling. I'm not trolling. I'm offering constructive criticism of my opinion and reasons for it. If you want to see trolling, I can do that, but I'm not going to.
But see, that's the thing. Oh, gosh.
He said the new Spider-Man movie was a 6 out of 10.
No, 8.5. I said 8.5.
8.5? Oh,
yes.
I must have read somebody else's.
You read somebody else's, bro. Like, I hate MCU movies, but that was a good ass movie. But anywho,
you a DC fan?
Not for the live action movies, for the games and comics and animated shows. Yeah,
he do look like a DC fan.
He look like a DC fan. I'm neither. So I'm impartial. I could talk shit about both sides.
But the DC movies are bad. I can tell you that off rip. So what are you going with that, Hashim?
I was just
he's
saying.
Trolling.
Like,
that's what he's doing.
No.
He's giving the people an example of trolling.
No.
Good job, Hashim.
No, but if it was somebody, or I saw somebody say 6 out of 10, you know the movie was good.
It's subjective.
No. It depends. It really depends on why they say that.
Yeah, it's subjective. But like, to Wally's point though, to be like, all jokes aside, like, I think people sometimes, because we're in an era now where, like, specifically with artists and entertainers, any form of criticism, even if it's justified or valid with reasoning, is completely like
dismissed.
Dismissed. So it becomes like, oh, this person must be trolling, or ratio is better, you know, young boy better. Yeah, like you see all these dumbass like
they say young boy better than Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like all types of goofy shit. But it's like this trolling at its best. But it's like it kind of like, of course, trolling is meant to be like entertaining, is meant to be sarcastic, is meant to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone, you know, takes themselves too seriously, or if someone, let's say someone has an embarrassing moment that's publicized, people are going to troll it. People are going to mock it. You know what I'm saying? We see it all the time. You know, someone gets posterized in the NBA, or someone gets stiff-armed in football, or someone sings a bad note. Like, people are going to troll them because, like, that's just the nature of memes and the nature of social media. But there's also a dark side to it too. And I think the dark side starts with fan pages. A lot of public figures have these broad ass fan pages that anytime you try to be critical of someone's like music or anything someone that is like highly favored does, like the Beehive, for example.
That is the perfect example.
they are so like you can't give any real criticism towards her in anything she does, any move she makes, any music she puts out, because oh, you're trolling. Oh, you don't know music. Oh, and then like you said, if you got an RIP in your bio, or if your profile picture isn't the most flattering, they're on your ass. They on your ass. Like,
and you're gonna get ratio.
It's also hard when it's bandwagon mentality. So like Doja Cat, for example, I don't know much about her. Everyone is like at the last week or 2.5 weeks or something, people are raving about her. I'm like, what's the
what I tell you?
She makes good music.
I know,
but don't say what you said last time, Bobby. But she makes good music.
Oh.
If you watch our previous episode to this one, you know what I said regarding Doja Cat. I'm gonna leave it there. If you didn't, go watch that episode and come back.
Matter of fact, let me not use Doja Cat. My easiest example is just things like Endgame or something. People everyone's saying, if critics say it's a great movie, most likely mad audience is gonna agree with it and say, yeah, it's a great movie. But when you look at it from a different lens, it's like, oh yeah, you're trolling because I'm not quick to agree with you. I'm not following the mob mentality. And then it's oh, you're trolling. So that's a real problem with this whole trolling mentality.
Do you guys have a question? I have a question. Do you guys think trolling is the biggest form of cyberbullying in a sense?
No. I think that's
really?
cancellation.
Well, we'll get into that.
Trolling, sometimes especially if you know the person that you're talking to, you know they're not serious. And you know they're looking for a reaction.
Of course, like Jihad, for example, he went to high school with Hashim and I. Like, I see him troll like you and troll people all the time. Like, I know he's not serious, but again, it's lighthearted trolling. It's obvious. You know what I'm saying? But again, everyone doesn't read sarcasm well. And the way that's the essence of trolling is to try to mock someone who's being too serious, or to mock something that, like, if you, like, let's say you say, oh, I'm the best NBA player in the world, right? You say that, and then let's say you have a game where you shoot like 2 for 20.
Oh, that's all over.
Your next post that you put up on social media, that whole thread is going to be people like, oh, you probably seen it, like, oh, he was feeling dangerous tonight. Shot 2 for 20 from the field, had 8 turnovers, missed all his free throws. Oh, he's feeling dangerous tonight. Like, you've seen that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, like, it's a necessary, I don't even want to say a necessary evil, but it's something that, you know, it's
another form of joking.
Right. Like, it's something that exists that starts off as lighthearted, but of course, someone always has to ruin the party.
So, what do you think about cancellation then?
What do you think about cancellation?
So is this us transition? All right, so now we're transitioning into cancel culture.
Yeah.
So, okay, first of all, what do you guys? What is cancel culture? Can we establish that before we?
I can't give you a definition. I have a perfect example, but I can't give you a definition. Can somebody give me a definition?
I got you right now.
Yeah. So,
see, before you give me an example, see that right there is multiple problems with cancel culture. First of all, I don't know why people have this, like, I don't know if it's a superiority complex, or if it's like people think like their presence on social media is more important than it actually is. But the fact that a group of people, like Wally said, like a mob mentality, can think that because they don't like something that someone did, right, like morally, that they have the ability to cancel them realistically doesn't make sense. Because there's a lot of artists or a lot of entertainers that I don't like because of my morality or how I feel about them due to what I value. But I'm also just not going to follow them. I'm not going to like interact with them or tweet about them or anything.
Just leave them alone.
Right. That's the best way to cancel them. But you constantly making this person trend, like Kanye West for Kanye. The reason why he can't be canceled is not because the shit he does is not like problematic. It is very problematic in multiple fronts. But when you constantly are making him trend, when you constantly are buying his brand, when you're constantly listening to his music, when you constantly have so many people engaging with it, you yourself going on a Twitter rant about him is not going to stop his pockets nor stop his progression within his career. It's honestly just going to help his engagement and his people seeing him on Twitter and stuff even more prevalent because you're talking about him.
Well, Bobby, it goes into I like to say it as it's a form of protest, and people want because if a celebrity does some kind of fuckery, some people who don't like it, they want to have their voice heard and brought to attention, and they want to. Some people take it too far, but the intention is to stop any chances or halt any chances of them of getting any more livelihood and profits or whatever. Like they want negativity to surround them. That's the whole point. They want to bring it to attention and hopefully get them removed from certain spaces.
And I'm all for holding people accountable. I wish we continued. I wish we did it more often and more consistently. But my problem is not holding them accountable. My problem is that it's inconsistent. You'll see some. So we did an episode right on Astrofest. Go watch that, by the way. And me and Hashim and I was talking about the difference between empathy and apathy, right? I saw a bunch of people, on Twitter. I talked about it on Twitter. A bunch of people on Twitter talked about it, gave their opinions, everything like that, right? Up until recently he did an interview or whatever, you didn't hear or see anything about Travis Scott. I guarantee, maybe it was 2 weeks or so after that event, you didn't hear him on the radio, you didn't see him. It was incognito. But what happened? Time passed. He was back on the radio. I'm sure at some point, once these lawsuits are over with, he'll be back. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have a short attention span. It's not continuous with a lot of people. And that's one of my main issues with it.
I see what your issue is. My issue is the mishandling of cancel culture. And
Yes.
Asim will know this because, as you know, anime is becoming a more mainstream thing. And there's a lot of things in Japanese culture that for some reason translates differently to people, and they take it as an offense. Like, for example, it could be a violent show. A 15-year-old gets decked in the face, and then people here will say, oh, they're promoting child violence. No, the fuck they're not. No, they're not. And they'll do their best. They'll do their best to slander and cancel that whole series for the silliest reasons. So and it's like you're a joke. You're making us look like a joke, and you're giving people over there some thoughts saying, "Wow, Americans over there are silly as hell. You grieving about this? What the fuck you guys got over there, or some shit?" So
we got, and they're like
Xnay on the term YouTube algorithm.
But
we have violence in educational institutions.
Facilities.
There we go. You had an example you wanted to give.
I had two. I thought of the other one. But one just got me really hot, and I'll say the other one later. The one that got me really hot was No Name tried to cancel J. Cole. Is it No Name?
Oh boy, here we go.
Definitely No Name tried to cancel J. Cole.
Well, okay. To be
J.
fair,
Cole is the most unproblematic rapper.
Mainstream rapper. Mainstream. Yes.
Mainstream. That's why I said one of. Right.
Okay. Here's the thing with that situation. That's a perfect example of first of all, I'm a big fan of No Name and Cole. Like, Cole's my favorite artist ever. I've expressed that. Same with Hashim. I'm also a big fan of No Name, not just musically, but just everything about her, right? So I think with that situation, that was like a perfect example of like people jumping on the bandwagon, right? Because she is someone who is very pro-Black liberation, right? So when the protests and everything was going on, throughout like May and June of last year of 2020, she gave like a vague kind of like a subtweet where she was talking about mainstream rappers using the plight of Black people to like their advantage without like helping them now when there's protests going on. Mm-hmm. And she kind of jumped out the window with that because we saw later that like, Cole and Kendrick was in protests. You know what I'm saying?
And that's sorry to interrupt you.
No,
like them too, especially just because it's not advertised, which would in some cases you could say, oh, that's fake. They're only doing that just so they're seen. So obviously not all of us gonna know because they're not the type of people that's gonna be posting, oh, I just went to this
they don't even use social media that much.
That's true. I haven't seen Kendrick in a hot minute.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And it's also like, and again, like I get what the premise of what she was saying was, and I wasn't upset with that. Also, I wasn't upset with Cole's response on Snow on the Bluff. I actually liked the dialogue back and forth, you know what I'm saying? But what happened was people chose to use the situation or their feelings of No Name calling out artists, I guess utilizing like a certain social like issues, but then not doing anything in real life, and taking Cole responding because he felt some type of way about, you know, being told that, and basically being like disregarded in a fashion of like being a conscious rapper or whatever. People took that and ran with it and used it as a way to say, oh, cancel No Name. How dare she talk about Cole? Cancel Cole. Cole ain't shit. Oh, he's misogynistic, this, that, and the third. And it's like, how
there you go.
But how are y'all trying to manipulate a situation and make it even worse? So now No Name looks like the jealous rapper who's coming after one of the biggest rappers of this generation. And then Cole looks like a misogynist who's a sexist because he responded to her in some fashion that wasn't like the most polite, I guess, even though he wasn't really that disrespectful towards them. But this is what I'm saying. Like, people take their own agendas into canceling somebody because they were trying to push a narrative. That's my issue. That's my issue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
another example, like I'm gonna be the one to say it. Lizzo, the way she has put herself out there to as a form of empowerment, that's great and all, but you could do that a lot better. You're being very, I feel like, intentionally problematic, and there's people who actually will come out saying, why are you dressed like this? And it's an inappropriate setting. It's not the time and place.
In a family-friendly event.
Bro, it was the Lakers game. It was the Lakers game. It was a basketball game.
You'll have people say, oh,
and the Staples Center.
You're phobic against fat people, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're misogynistic. If she was skinny, you would be like, oh, yeah. No, you didn't. You just jumped hoops and hurdles. You jumped from Earth to Jupiter. That's how crazy you assume shit.
The hurdle game was crazy. You just
crazy. And you think because we're calling out an inappropriate behavior that we're favoring another type of body? No, that's not the case at all. That's not it at all. We're just calling out bullshit.
And that's the thing. Like I said, like with cancel culture, like it's made it like I'm all for people being more sensitive towards certain people who've been disrespected or marginalized throughout their lives. People who are big or plus size, people who are darker tone, women in general, gay community. I'm all for that. But in certain situations, like every situation doesn't have to revolve around, oh, someone's fat shaming or someone's being anti-gay or someone's being anti this or that. Because like with Lizzo's situation, like again, she's doing something intentionally inappropriate in a family-friendly environment, yet we're not allowed to hold her accountable because, oh, we're the problem.
They will take out the logical thing that you say, and pick something that's their opinion and be like, oh, like black people, you don't like yourself, it's a safe self-hate, right?
Yeah.
And then another example, go with that, like Dave Chappelle, big example. People dead try to cancel this man. He's a comedian, right? And just because the times got more sensitive, I respect him so much by still being the same comedian he was like 5-10 years ago. Even though,
now,
like,
the thing with Dave was like, okay, so like I didn't see the special where people were saying that he was being very transphobic, so I can't speak personally on it. What I will say, okay, you saw it. What did you? What was
he
your?
wasn't, because he's a comedian. He makes jokes about anybody and everybody. You should
But do
feel
you think
more.
that he
You
was?
should feel, but you should feel better that he's actually making a joke about you than excluding you from that. You know, like if he's excluding,
I
he's
see what you're saying.
totally
Well, why do you say that,
disregarding
though?
you at all. Because like that's equality, right? So you're treating. I'm a comedian. I'm making jokes. That's my job. I'm not gonna not make jokes because, oh, you're a kid, right? He still makes jokes to your kid. You're black, you're white, any nationality, any sexuality, and it's fair game. And that's why I say you
Can I
can't
play
really get
devil's
mad
advocate,
at him.
though?
It's not like he's picking. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna just play devil's advocate, right?
Go for it.
We can't agree the whole episode. So I get what you're saying, and I think this day and age is the hardest to be a comedian because of cancel culture. Because comedians are so the history of a stand-up comedian is for them, especially like the highest of the mainstream ones, are for them to push boundaries in terms of speaking on real life issues. You know what I'm saying? Speaking on like, domestic violence, speaking on racism, sexism, gay community, whatever, and pushing those boundaries to make you laugh at things that you wouldn't necessarily laugh at, but also because they're speaking from a true, honest perspective. So I say all that to say, though, is it possible, though, with like Dave, right? Because Dave has, for the last couple specials, has focused a lot on cancel culture. But Dave is such a legend and so decorated. Is he really in danger of being canceled, or is he just focusing on it because he's being held accountable by a small minority of people? Because I think like sometimes with cancel culture too, I think we focus on it so much because it's a loud minority. And we forget it's a loud minority instead of it being like, oh, this is what the masses think. It's really just a loud, small group of people. So do you think that could be the case with that situation?
I feel like it's. I wouldn't want to say like ruining his reputation, but that's like throwing dirt on somebody. That's like you getting. I was trying to think, like you getting charged for a crime that you didn't do.
Okay.
It's still gonna hurt you, even if you're proven innocent.
If
right?
you got charged for, if you got charged for like sexual abuse, or it was allegations of you committing sexual abuse, but you didn't. Even if you didn't, though, that stigma and that cloud is gonna hang over your head, especially if people already aren't fond of you as a person or just whatever you do, like as a public figure, or even just if you're not a public figure. So I agree with that.
And
I think that's okay.
I was gonna say, we don't know how it affects people's real lives, like how their relationships is with their family, friends, and if they have kids and they're seeing these stuff, what their kids gonna think about, their dad, their mom, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it affects
While
more
it
than.
looks like you got something to say.
Nah. I'm just agreeing. Like I just thought of certain events, and what Hashim's saying is like, it means a lot. It's true.
Yeah, it affects more than like the artificial things that we see as the public, but you don't know what's going on in their real life. We don't know them as a person or blah blah blah. But yeah.
So that's the thing, right? So like, what is the boundary? What is the boundary that we have to make between holding people accountable and trying to cancel them? Because like I said, I don't think that holding people accountable is not my issue. And I think that's what people who are heavy into canceling people, that's their main argument. Oh, you don't want to hold people accountable. You just want to allow people to do whatever they want. It's like, no, I'm not for that at all. I'm all for holding someone accountable. But if I don't fuck with the Kardashians, I'm not going to go out of my way to talk about them over and over and over again personally. just because anything that I don't like, that I feel is negative or feel like is detrimental, especially to my culture, I'm going to go out of my way to avoid it and not talk about it so that they can be less relevant. But I think what's the boundary between accountability and trying to cancel people?
So I think the boundary is you have to really take what the situation is. Like you really have to just like what was something so like the Dave Chappelle thing. What is he? You have to think about what his job is. What is he doing? Who's he saying? Like who's he talking about? And is that extending to other people as well? Is he really doing his job? Basically. Like, yes, people need to analyze the damn context, and that's when you can determine if it's a good idea to make it an issue, a big deal, because coming at a comedian for saying something about a certain group of people, all right, has he just been focusing about these people in all his shows for a number of period of time, or is he just like saying it once or twice and then moving on to the next group, then the next one, then the next one?
Well, some people have said that the last like 2 or 3 specials he's done kind of focused on like the gay community and like the trans, especially trans people. I can't analyze that myself because I haven't watched his last like 1 or 2 specials, so I'm not sure. But
see now, Bobby, what you just said. You said you haven't seen it, right? Notice how you're trying to play devil's advocate. You're using logic because you don't know the full context. That's what people need to do. If they don't know shit, it takes more than just a Twitter post and some biased video on YouTube or something to form your own opinion. That is way too little information to say, okay, let me join this hate brigade on against this person.
It's definitely a herd mentality, like with cancel culture. Exactly. You see a certain wave of people say shit, and you're like, oh, it's popular. let me fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of like
if you see somebody getting jumped, you're like, oh, I kind of don't like that guy either. Let me hop in.
You ever seen the meme? Y'all know the meme from Boondocks, like, damn.
Yeah.
What did he do to make them niggas that mad? Like, in real life, that's how it goes often. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know. I think sometimes people, and it's sad to say, but I think sometimes people are trolling when it comes to trying to cancel people too. I think they intertwine in some aspects as well. Like
entertaining.
Yeah, like, and people want to, people morally like to feel better about themselves, no matter whose expense is at. So even if it's not always fully justified, people will take something, put it out of context, and then try to denigrate somebody without using the full context to also make their morality seem even higher. That happens as well. And that's another big issue with cancel culture too. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's people who are trying to cancel others who've probably done fuck shit themselves. But that's a whole different story. Yeah. That's a whole different story. Because I want people to understand what we're saying and our different perspectives. We're not talking about people should be silenced. We are 3 Black men on a podcast. We are the last people who want anyone to be silenced. So that's not the purpose of what we're saying. But the idea of cancel culture just needs to it needs to be either refurbished or not exist.
I'm just gonna say one thing. The whole mob mentality / slight cancel culture thing. Hashim actually did something, or he said something that could have led to cancel culture. So when I talked about the MCU shit, he said, "You a DC fan?" I'm like, see, that's the shit I'm talking about. Just because I'm criticizing them shits. Oh, you a DC fan? No, mother. I know the DC.
I mean, but look, and that in that aspect, it was just a question, right? But
and that aspect is trolling.
Yeah, but there's 2 things. There's MU. If you're not a Marvel fan, you're usually a DC fan.
I am a Marvel fan. It's just that I'm not satisfied with the adaptations. That is all. But anyway,
I'm pretty satisfied.
Or you're neither, like me. You don't have to.
There you go. But Bobby, people think being neutral was also a blasphemous thing, so keep that in mind. Apparently,
well, that can be though, because like it's very easy to like fence hop.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to, you're trying to play the field instead of just being honest about like how you feel about a situation too. So I don't really like that. I don't really like that either. Like if you have a stance on something and that's how you feel, then stand on it. Don't try to fence hop because you want to be PC or you want to, I don't want to rub people the wrong way type thing. Like, nah, I don't agree with that though either.
All right, Hashim.
The confession.
Yeah.
Confession. All right, like I say every time, this is not wild. This is probably like a calm one. I don't know the college, as usual.
You say that every time, and then you say some fuck shit.
But it says, my RA has been giving me hints that he tried to smash. So I gave him head. Now he's using that master key to come watch me sleep at night. I called him 2 times already. Should I report him?
Run your bias again?
Wait, yeah. Can you run that by? Run that by. Excuse me? Wait, what? I want to make sure I heard what I heard.
I'm anticipating this is a girl speaking, right?
I hope so.
She said, my RA has been giving me hints that he's trying to smash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he's using that master key, his master key, and he has to all the students build rooms that he's in charge of to come and watch her sleep at night. And she called him 2 times already. Should she report him?
Why is this? Why? Well, of course. Why? What is the debate here?
Maybe she kind of likes him, you know?
Well, at that point, God help you. But anywho.
Okay, so
Miss Devil's Advocate, go ahead. Try to Devil's Advocate this shit.
Maybe he's just checking.
I want to hear Hashim's perspective first.
He's about to talk right now.
Good.
Maybe, as an RA, you got to check on your students. Maybe he's just checking that they're in their room and not doing anything like drugs or anything like that, because under his watch, he could get fired for that.
Bro. As someone who dormed for 2 years in college, the RAs never check on you unless it's Thirsty Thursday and people are trying to have dorm like functions. Other than that, they're not checking on you in your room ever.
And this has happened after you gave him the head, right? So it's like
exactly. So he has incentive to go to. He has his own sick incentive to go into. Okay, let's go back.
That boy is foaming at the mouth. He was like, yeah, I need some more. Oh, crazy, boy.
No, she was foaming at the mouth. That's why he's trying to get back to see her.
You know
but
what?
Anyway,
he wild today, bro. He wild today. Man. Dude. Wow.
Wally, cut that part out.
Nah, I gotta say.
That's gonna be a reaction.
Listen. What I'm saying is, okay, let's analyze the first part. So she gave her RA head. First of all,
it's normal.
Whoa.
It's another student. No. I didn't. Why you always see? Look. You put me in that place of that.
Because why did you just say that? Like that's normal.
Because it's
normal
a student,
where?
bro. It's a student. It's like she just regularly met somebody and just gave him head. Except it just so happened to be his RA.
Okay. So we can't ignore the dynamics here. This isn't a regular student to student type of relationship. This is a RA who is in charge of a wing of a hall. Yeah. So that RA can get that student kicked out of the dorm. So the RA naturally has power over the student. So it's not the same dynamic. So I don't know why you try to make it like it's the same thing.
First I feel like it happens a lot on college campuses. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, it probably does. But I mean, sometimes RAs are older also than the student, but whatever.
They're just like a year. You could be an RA at sophomore year.
That's true. That's true. But like, okay, so first of all, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think. What happened?
What you said?
Just report him. The question was, should I report?
Oh yeah,
his
report him.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
That's easy.
I mean, like,
unless you kind of like him.
See, it's going to be hard because, like, she consented to giving him fellatio, so it's like,
okay, doesn't mean you come in my room in the middle of the night.
Yeah, the coming in the room
without permission.
First of all, this nigga got a master key and just, oh yeah, let me check on her while she sleep. Like, that's some real, like, some creep shit. I don't know what's going on. He's wild. Key
is only supposed to be used for like emergencies, or if like you're supposed to announce that you're coming in, if I remember correctly.
That's facts. They knock on the door and be like, "Oh, hey, I'm coming in," because you don't know if that person's naked, changing, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's some real creep shit. Plus,
like, that's what he's trying to find out.
And he sees her, and he's the RA. He's her RA, so he's going to see her often anyway. And like, if there's a lobby area in the halls. Yeah. So you creeping in to watch her. What is his intention of doing that? Genuinely, can y'all answer me?
He needs to see her more. He needs to see her more.
But if she gave him head twice,
clearly she didn't see him. She didn't give him head twice. She gave him head twice.
No, she caught him looking at her twice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, well, so then she's probably not interested in him no more.
I mean,
we would never know how to handle it.
My question is, why the fuck you gave him head anyway?
That's what I was getting to. Maybe, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to be that guy. But I was asking the same thing. Why are you giving your RA head?
How she was gonna say something?
But look, he could look good in her perspective, or be somebody that she's attracted to, and then show no creepy behavior until after the head.
But Bobby, this is my thing. Even if the roles were reversed and it was a male student to a female RA, I'm not even looking at it from a gender perspective. I'm looking at it from a dynamic perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Even with student and teacher, like, people make jokes about, oh yeah, I would sleep with my teacher, but that's not an appropriate relationship to have, like, at all. Because now the person who has the more power in that dynamic can use that against the student if the student no longer has interest or wants to, like Wale said, report the faculty member. You know what I'm saying? It can
work both ways, though.
How?
You see how many times students say, "Oh, they had sex with me," and that teacher's life is done. They're not teaching no more. They could go to jail for underage sex.
And you say, and you like.
So I'm saying the student still has power in that case, right? In that case, she probably still has power. You're not supposed to be doing that with your residents, right?
Right.
And second thing, Bobby, you tell me if Megan Good was your teacher in high school.
Here he go. He talk about me, but he always used examples of public figures that are attractive for me. You see what I'm talking about?
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just giving you a scenario.
When have I put words in your mouth? I put you in the scenario.
No, you said you give your RA head? No, I did not say that. Question
because you were trying to defend. Oh yeah, this happens all the time.
But that's not a scenario.
Student fucking the RA.
Well, was that a scenario? No. Why is a scenario? I said so. If Megan Good, I just picked a random name, right? It's Megan Good because the news that came out that she's divorced. But if she was, yeah.
I love how you just broke breaking.
This
put out breaking news that nobody knew about.
This is also why I have Twitter, because it keeps me up to date. So Aisha Curry and Stephen Curry have an open marriage.
I saw that on like YouTube. Is that real?
Yeah. I guess I haven't looked into it that much. I just came from work.
So is it just speculation?
I think it's real. I would believe so.
I don't know.
And Steph Curry shooting threes on and off the court.
Wow. Wow. That's
Megan
crazy.
Good. That's answer the question. So if Megan Good was your high school teacher,
First of all, listen.
First of all, you should have asked him Chloe Bailey. That's what you should have asked him.
Yeah.
But Normani. But no.
Man would have folded like
I had a high school crush on the teacher. Shout out to Miss Walsh. If you know, you know. But you know, she was I think she was Irish, you know what I'm saying? She's one of the few white women that I've actually had a genuine crush on. But shout out to
Jacques Bobby.
But what happened?
Jacques, you were feeling the snow bunny? Oh, let me find out.
She was a teacher, you know, she was short, she was nice put together. Hashim, I don't know if you remember if he had her as a teacher, but
I never had her.
If you had her and you're watching this from high school, if you know, you know. But that aside, all jokes aside, no, I wouldn't be. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to do something with her, even if I would want to, because I would be a minor, and she's an adult, so she would in essence be taking advantage of me, and she would be in trouble not only of her teaching license, but also of going to jail. Now, the RA, I don't think would go to jail, but he could lose his position. What happened?
So as a student, you're thinking about the consequences for your RA or teacher.
Of course not. No, I'm saying as an older person now, looking at it from an outside perspective,
okay,
if that was a younger me, I'm going to, if I had the opportunity, yeah, sure. I'm saying it would still be inappropriate.
That's the answer that I was looking for. That's all I did. Guys, that's all. Thank you for watching. Come back next week for that episode. That's the answer I was looking for. That's it. That's it. Man, beating around the bush. I just did that. That's a yes no question. But I appreciate the honesty. Yeah, I see what you were saying, but you know, I just got my answer. That's all. I'm happy.
What would you do?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I report to RA. What you mean?
So you went through all that to try to give me an answer just to say you will report the RA.
I've been agreed with Wale. He said report.
No, I'm saying if you was the student, not from her perspective, if you were the student, what would you do?
If I was a student?
Yes, not from her perspective.
And I had a female RA.
Yes, and you
coming in my dorm in the middle of the night.
Yes, after you gave her head. Yes, what would you do?
I'll still report her. Why you come in my room in the middle of the night? That's creepy.
So you wouldn't go for round 2 before you report?
That's an invasion of privacy.
Bro, that is red flag activity. Nah.
Big facts.
Nah.
That is that's some you type vibes. Not you, but like Netflix series.
Do I need to have a montage of Joe? Do I need another one?
Oh God.
You might have to. Well, Wale, you say you will report her this RA too?
Yeah. You come. I want to sleep peacefully. Don't come in my room, son. If you were not invited, get the step and go somewhere else.
Nah, all jokes aside too, like from a gender perspective too, it's like college girls already have their have situations that happen with guys where guys are like, you know, take advantage of them.
That's true.
I can't say certain words because of YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But so having that be that, like I said, the dynamic of a male RA sneaking into your room, watching you sleep. First of all, how did she figure out that he was watching them sleeping?
She's probably awake.
But just paint them, but then make it hot, basically.
She was probably awake and just like didn't want to move and like,
right.
Who the hell's in my room right now? Type vibe. I don't know.
See, what I would do is I would try to set up a hidden camera or something to, if he does it again, so he could be seen, so she has evidence. Because sometimes in these type of situations, if you report this stuff to like a dean or somebody of a higher authority, they might not believe you if you don't have evidence or witnesses. Unfortunately, just putting it out there.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like if it is nah, that's not true. I lied.
What?
It's a different situation. I was gonna say if it's a female, they're more likely to believe them, but I said that's not true. For different types of cases, that's true. Like rape allegations for football players, which is fair game to like say believe them, but like sometimes that just ruined the dude's life for a person that just or had permission for what's the word?
Consent.
Yes, consent, and it's a word of mouth game. So
which kind of goes into a logic versus emotions episode, which will be sneak peek, be our next episode that we do. So we might use that as an example of that. But we're gonna wrap it up though. Thank you guys again for watching and listening to us. If you are watching, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get to 100 subs. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to push this thing forward. Please help us do so. If you're listening to us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, leave a rating, subscribe, all that good stuff. Wale, appreciate you being on the show again. You are become the third party of the show. Do you guys have anything else you want to add?
Check the damn Instagram for the reels. All right. These characters got some interesting things to say. But
what's the Instagram?
I remember the HBCU podcast. That whole you'll see it at the top of the video. It'll be there.
Yes.
We got funny clips and whatnot. Funny highlights.
I would like to say I appreciate everybody that's watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Ramadan, Hanukkah, I don't know. And depending on when this Kwanzaa, depending on when this video comes out, maybe Happy New Year.
Probably Happy New Year. You'll probably be watching us in